If God really sees everything, the boy whispered through his sobs, then why did he let my mother die and leave me broken? The words echoed through the silent mansion, words that would pierce a father's pride, unravel hidden grief, and lead them all to a truth deeper than wealth, one that even God himself had not abandoned. The mansion was immaculate, its marble floors polished until they gleamed like mirrors, its chandeliers dripping crystal light onto velvet rugs. Yet for all its wealth, it was a house built on silence, no laughter, no gentle footsteps of a mother, only the quiet tick of a golden clock in the hall. And then sobs, jagged, desperate sobs that shattered the air like glass. Ethan sat curled on the rug, his small fists pressed into his swollen eyes, his yellow shirt damp with sweat and tears. He shook as though grief itself had lodged in his bones. Naomi, the maid, knelt beside him, her purple uniform creased, her apron damp where his face buried itself. Her dark hands trembled slightly as she stroked his hair. "Breathe, sweetheart," she whispered. "Just breathe for me." But Ethan could not breathe. His words burst out between sobs, choked and raw. "I can't do it anymore. I can't go back there. They laugh at me. They say I'm cursed. They say God wanted her gone, but not me." Naomi's throat tightened. She knew who her was, Ethan's late mother, gone 3 years. The wound was still open, and children at school twisted the knife with cruel jeers. And then he said it, words that sliced deeper than any taunt. "They say I'm broken, and maybe they're right. Dad thinks so too. He won't say it, but I know. He looks at me like I'm less." Naomi swallowed back her own tears. She had seen the signs. His trembling hands, his stuttering steps, the way exhaustion dragged him down when no one else noticed. His father dismissed it as laziness. Naomi knew better. "Listen to me, Ethan," she said firmly. "You are not broken. You are hurting. That is not the same, and God does not call you weak." But Ethan shook his head violently. "Then why won't he fix me? Why won't he make Dad love me?" Naomi froze. She had no easy answer. She had lost her own mother young and remembered that suffocating loneliness. But she also remembered her grandmother's voice. God doesn't always take the pain away. Sometimes he sends someone to carry it with you. Before she could speak, the sound of heavy footsteps echoed down the hall. The door burst open. A tall man filled the frame, his green suit perfect, his maroon tie knotted with precision. A briefcase swung at his side, his jaw tightened at the sight before him, his son clinging to the maid, both of them wet-faced with tears. "What the hell is this?" His voice cracked like thunder. Ethan stiffened, burying himself against Naomi. The man strode forward, polished shoes thudding against the rug. "Ethan!" he barked. "Look at me. Did she hurt you?" His finger jabbed toward Naomi. Naomi gasped. "Sir, how dare you? How dare I? I come home to find my boy weeping in the arms of an employee, and you expect me not to question it." His eyes blazed. "Dad, stop!" Ethan cried, his voice high with panic. "She didn't hurt me. She's the only one who cares." The words landed like knives. The father's chest heaved. "What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying I don't care? That I don't provide everything you could ever need?" Ethan's face twisted in agony. "I don't need money. I need a dad. But you're never here. You don't even know what's wrong with me." For a second, the father faltered. Then his pride hardened again. "There's nothing wrong with you. You're just soft. Weak." Ethan screamed, a sound so raw it shook the room. "I'm not weak. I'm sick. They bully me because of it. They laugh because Mom's dead, and you don't see it." "You don't see anything?" The father froze, his mouth half open. Shock flickered, but anger masked it again. His gaze snapped to Naomi. "Is this true? Did you put this in his head?" Naomi stood, her back straight, though her heart pounded. "It's not nonsense. He has carried 3 burdens alone: grief for his mother, cruelty at school, and a sickness you've refused to see. If no one speaks, this boy will break." The father's face darkened. "You forget your place, woman." Naomi's voice trembled, but she did not step back. "My place," she said, "is exactly here, between your son and the abyss you're blind to. Because God placed me here when you would not stand in your own son's corner." Ethan clutched her sleeve, terrified. "Don't tell him, Naomi. If he knows, he'll hate me more. He'll throw me away like everyone else." Naomi knelt, cupping Ethan's tear-streaked face. "Sweetheart, I love you too much to stay silent. God hears your cries, and now your father must too." Ethan sobbed harder, pounding his fists against his knees. "You don't ask if I hurt, Dad. You just say, 'Toughen up,' but I can't. I'm not tough. I'm tired of fighting alone." The father staggered back as though struck. For years he had battled rivals, crushed deals, faced down investors without blinking. Yet his son's words, "I'm tired," broke him in ways no business ever had. His knees buckled. For the first time he dropped, suit wrinkling against the rug. He whispered hoarse, "My boy, I didn't know." Ethan recoiled. "You didn't want to know." The father's eyes filled. Pride, the shield he'd carried all his life, shattered. Naomi placed a trembling hand on his shoulder. "Then change, sir. Don't hide behind money. Show him you can be more than the man in the suit. Show him you can be a father. That's what God asks of you." The father's breath caught. His mind raced back to childhood prayers long abandoned. "God, if you are there, I have failed. Give me another chance." He dropped his briefcase. It hit the floor with a hollow thud. Forgotten. Slowly he reached for Ethan, his hands unsteady. "Ethan," he said, his voice raw, "I should have seen you. I should have listened. I should have taken you to a doctor when I saw your hand shake. Instead, I left you alone. I was wrong. So wrong." Ethan's lips trembled. "What if you're just saying it? What if you forget tomorrow?" The father shook his head fiercely. Tears streamed down his face. "No. Tomorrow we see a doctor. Tomorrow I call the school. Tomorrow I stand beside you. And tonight, if you'll let me, I will hold you." Ethan hesitated, torn between doubt and longing. Slowly, cautiously, he leaned forward, and then his father's arms wrapped around him, awkward at first, then desperate, as if he feared the boy might vanish if he let go. Ethan's sobs returned, muffled against his father's chest. "I miss Mom." The father buried his face in his son's hair. "I miss her too. I thought being strong meant shutting it out. But true strength is carrying it together, God, him, and me." Naomi turned her face away, tears streaking freely now. Relief and hope surged through her chest. The father lifted his gaze, his eyes wet. "Thank you, Naomi, for being God's hands when I was blind, for keeping him safe when I failed. Please, don't leave us, not for me, but for him." Naomi brushed Ethan's damp hair back gently. "I won't. He is not alone anymore. Not while I'm here, not while God still gives me breath." The father held Ethan tighter, whispering over and over, "I'm here now. I'm not letting go. Not ever again." And for the first time in years, Ethan let himself believe it. Believe not only in his father, but maybe, just maybe, in God again. This was not the end of grief. The sickness would still need doctors, the bullies would still need confronting, the nights would still ache with a mother's absence, but something had shifted. Pride had cracked, love had entered, and in the silence of that mansion, once empty, the sound of whispered prayers rose again.